Hello,
Hello.
episode number 11 with
Yep.
HCG. I'm Craig,
Yep.
and along with
Um,
me today is
Mike.
the usual
Hi,
tit.
Mike. The usual Mike. Um, Go by I am Mike too on social media. Think you missed yours out this time, Craig.
Think I missed mine now. No, we don't usually mention it at the beginning, but I cut you off last week, so I'll let you have that one because I fucked it up at the end last week.
Fair enough. My mistake. My mistake.
But it wasn't yours; it
And
was
my
my own,
my
my
and
own
my.
mistake.
This is Leo. He's joining us today.
That's Mike's hairy wings.
I've been playing a lot of Valheim, so I've just like
Oh,
stuck
this
my
is
own little
just it's
dog
your
main.
furry mane, furry cape.
My furry cape. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a troll cape,
Yeah.
dog cape.
Dog cape, yeah. I don't have many like wolves or trolls kicking about. To be fair, mate.
No, right.
Oh, good.
I will admit that this week I have been very, very, very busy, and I've been doing a very short run, um, and being busy with other little bits dotting in and around the house, along with being a parent, as we know. So
Yeah,
I'm a little bit behind with my usual gaming and everything else this week.
that's okay. Life gets in the way, mate. That's the whole point. It
Yeah,
wouldn't be a real podcast if we didn't include that sort of stuff.
no, yeah,
Unfortunately, outside of gaming, there is life.
yeah. Unfortunately, we do actually have a job, a life, and wives stroke girlfriends. So,
Yeah. Oh,
well, so your girlfriend, it's friends.
say yeah. That's
It's not like we have
we've still
multiple,
girlfriends. I don't know. We have one each.
one each. Yeah, it's not like we
One
share.
partner.
We don't share it.
One partner each. We definitely don't
Um,
share.
but
It's not
yeah,
that kind of game.
no. So I've done a half marathon at the weekend, so that's my little bit. If
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
knows the Great North Run, so I've done that.
Well done. Well
And
done. Well
then
done.
number 10, that was my 10th. Put that out there as well. I'm not getting any faster. In fact, I'm getting slower because I'm getting older. Um, and obviously, bit of a life with work and whatnot. So as I say, I'm little bit behind. I have done a little bit of gaming this week. I'm a little bit behind on news and stuff.
That's
Um,
okay. I have a lot of stuff we can talk about
right. Other than that, Mike, is there anything you've been up to? Anything in general?
outside of this stuff.
Yeah, outside of gaming. People want to know your do's and don'ts of the day.
My do's or don'ts today.
Yeah.
No, not particularly. We're still renovating a new property that we bought. And obviously my own work life is meant to be on the road, seeing people, which is starting to open up a little bit more now with COVID restrictions kind of going away. So it's getting a bit busier, but also um, other issues come with that. So,
Yeah.
but it's still all good. All good.
Yeah, so your restrictions, because you're up in Scotland, are a little bit more
I've always been a
restricted
little
than.
bit a couple of weeks behind.
Yeah. Well,
And
you, you say you're quite a few weeks, aren't you?
it's always been a couple of weeks behind before they made another decision. Might
Right.
not be the same one, but it's always been a couple of weeks behind the government in England. Um, now now there's not many restrictions that are different, but I think some areas at the moment COVID's quite bad in Scotland still. They've
Right.
had like a massive upturn with it. There's lots of places still got a bit of an issue, so um, it just means people are still happy to see people and stuff like that. Um, it's just difficult for certain people in certain jobs and certain situations. Like, they talk about, the pubs and all these different places having issues with not being able to get people in, but when your job is effectively sales, quite difficult to have those conversations with people when you can't get to see them.
No.
So especially
Yeah.
new clients or anything like that. But that's okay. It's fine. Doesn't bother me. I play some games and it cheers me up.
Yep.
Win-win.
I think we should just all go around and lick each other, and we'll be all alright then, won't we? Be
But we
all in the
might
same
all be in
boat.
prison.
Survival of the fittest then. I'll lick you,
Uh,
you lick someone else, and we just keep passing it on like that. Right, anyway, moving on.
we'll keep it the way it's been going for a while, mate.
Right, I'll let you kind of take the lead then today, so if you want to set us off, we'll start with our usual kind of news, anything kicking out around there. I suppose there is
Well,
something. Oh, actually, we'll mention that with games played actually, because I know there's something you mentioned to me today, which I'm quite keen to chat about, and got maybe a few questions surrounding that.
okay, I'm just gonna mention two news things that I know
Go
about.
go for it.
Um, one is the Xbox Cloud gaming local streaming is all now available on PC for everyone.
All right, okay,
That opened up as of today.
right.
Um,
When you say everyone, because was I not doing that before?
so you
The
could do it if you like. You could do it if you were part of the. I'm gonna check my source what I've written for this, but
Is this on xbox.com/play or via their Xbox app or something like that? Or we're not 100% sure.
so yeah, Xbox will allow its cloud streaming services is continuing, I suppose. Just announced that Xbox Cloud Gaming and Xbox Remote Play are both now available to everyone through the Windows 10 Xbox app.
Do you know what that may be? Because this is what I've been waiting for. So I think the cloud gaming
Stream.
part of it, side of it, was already open to everyone. Now it's the streaming part.
The cloud gaming part of it was not open to people by using the Xbox app
Yeah, but it was open to everyone via the website.
browser.
Yes.
Yeah, so you
Right.
could use a browser, but on PC you can now use the app.
Right. Oh,
But
that's
you can
great.
also do Xbox Remote Play, which is that not your streaming from your console?
I'm hoping so. I'm going to find out now while you chat away. Because I have been trying
Uh,
to prior to us getting on to the stream. I was actually trying to launch the Xbox app, and it was having a couple of issues getting in there.
right.
So
You check that out then. If see what the remote play bit is.
yeah, of course, yeah.
I think it's that. If you have a look at that, and I'll that was one thing that I'd
Because the
seen.
key thing about that for me is it's going to be much better streaming to stream any games that we're playing, etc.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can stream it back to your
Straight,
effectively. You can stream from your Xbox to your PC,
yeah. And that
which
means I'll
then allows you
play
to
any
play
game. You're not talking about just
just the
the
PC
game.
versions
Yeah,
to stream.
correct.
If
Yeah,
anyone doesn't know, like for recording game content, so usually, you could use it like a game capture card or something like this. It's one way of doing it. Uh, the way of doing it at the moment is to kind of stream it to Twitch, and then take it off, like save the file from there, and then you can do some editing on it, which is good and bad. It has pros and cons of doing it that way.
yeah,
Obviously, game capture cards cost, but also you have to have it local enough, like a PC or something local enough to your game capture card to be able to do that. So not everyone's in a position to do that. Um, the older way, or one of the good ways before, um, was actually it wasn't using Windows. Was it using Windows G before?
yeah.
Like
You can
just
record using Windows G, but they did used to
it
have
was the
this.
app. It was the app, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
Yeah.
the app before, but then for some strange reason they stripped it right back.
Yeah, so you could use your Xbox app to effectively connect to your Xbox and then just play whatever was being played on your Xbox on your PC screen, effectively. Which meant that you could, throw that into OBS and record it, which was made it all good. Um, which is handy for us to do this sort of stuff, and handy for many people. For some reason, Xbox removed the feature. So interesting if that comes back. A couple of other just noteworthy kind of things that I thought were quite interesting. So all the Xbox controllers have had like a Bluetooth support update,
All right, okay.
which is actually going to make them uh, like just a lot better. So they're actually the Bluetooth connectivity puts them more in line with the current Xbox X or Series X controllers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently the reason for this, so this applies to, um, apparently some people have complained that you've got an Xbox Series X like yourself,
Yeah.
yeah, you've got the new pad, and then because the old pads are backward or forwards compatible, or the Xbox Series X is backwards compatible, you could use an older pad.
Yes.
But apparently the Bluetooth connectivity wasn't as good, so it doesn't work as well as your new pad does. So people complained, so the Xbox have kind of upgraded the software of that to make all of that a lot better. But that also applies to anyone that owns an Xbox One or Xbox One X or S, also get the benefits. And apparently, the other reason for it is to give better support on iOS.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
So with the whole now that so iOS wouldn't let people or wouldn't let the app be installed for people to play Xbox games on iOS, which you've commented about before.
Yes. Yeah.
Now that the browser version of the cloud platform works, a lot more people are trying to play Xbox games on basically an Apple device on iOS. But yeah, the control pads weren't working that well,
Right.
to be fair. So they've kind of fixed that kind of problem. So I thought that was kind of like a neat little update from them. Um, and last one was um, the Xbox Series X and S consoles might be able to use normal SSD drives.
Is this the picture we were sent recently in one of our groups?
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
yeah. So normally the Xbox Series X and S have like expansion ports on the back where you can stick specifically made hard drives
Yeah.
into
So
them.
I have bought one of these little cartridges that cost me nigh on £200 or something, or 100. No, it was about 120 quid or something.
Yeah,
Something daft like that for a terabyte.
yeah. So apparently, they they're basically quite expensive. Um,
Yes.
they are a specific type of drive because they allow games to run off them very quick. The new kind of style technology that's in that.
Yeah, so
Um,
the idea of it, it's meant to be, it's attached to your console, and when it plugs in, like an old, it's like an old PlayStation cartridge if you remember them, like a little save cartridge, and when it plugs in, it's almost like you've just put an SSD straight onto your motherboard basically.
yeah, it's even better than that because um, I think it's directly connected to your like PCI Express lanes, so it's it's like instant.
Yeah.
It's an instant direct connection. Before it used to go through like controllers within your motherboard and stuff before your Xbox would be able to like before your processor would be able to do anything with it. Now it's like almost instant, which is great, but it's quite expensive. Basically, that's all the thing. Um, they're saying that it might be able to use standard SSDs in its expansion slots.
Right.
So, we'll find out a little bit more about it, like more in depth. But it was only kind of really mentioned recently.
I'll
They've
have to
been able to do
come.
that.
I'll have to come back to you regarding the Xbox thing. For some reason, the Microsoft Store seems to be having a bit of a glitch. Whether it's my PC or whether it's actually Microsoft, I don't quite know. So I'll
Okay.
come back to you on that one. I'll try again a bit later on during the stream. Uh, if you just carry on 2 seconds, because I want to just quickly grab some because you reminded me something. Just
Okay.
keep going.
Go for it.
Yep, I can still hear you.
Oh yeah, his wireless headset.
Yeah,
Giving it
just
loudly.
just running it through. Here we go. You just reminded
That's
me
fine.
some.
In general terms. That's my news. There is some other news, which is some announcements for games that are like where it will be released or updates, but it's also games that we've been playing, so it kind of fits into both categories a little bit. Um, I suppose touching on that, I will actually mention one because I've not played it, but I like the sound of it. Um, there's a game that's been released on Xbox Game Pass, um, which is called Breathedge,
Right. Okay.
and it is
I've downloaded this.
so have I. So you can play it on PC. You can play it on PC and Xbox. It's part of Game Pass. Like I say, it came out on the 9th. Um, but I saw it. Kind of had a look into it. It's single player. That's fine. But basically, you have to survive in outer space together with your immortal chicken.
Yeah.
Um,
God.
you have to discover truths. Sudden spaceship crash, craft tools, pilot vehicles, control space stations, survive. So there's basically survival story mixed in with it, survival aspects mixed in with an actual story. Where you're trying to find out the truth of what kind of happened. Um, a lot of the comments around it seem to be that it's kind of scary, the game, but also quite funny.
Right.
The chicken, some of the things you have to do with the chicken just seem highly inappropriate. Um, and lots of sexual innuendo and stuff like that. Um, to be fair, it hasn't got it's got mediocre ratings for it, but I think
Yeah.
some
Well,
of the reasons
stuff revolving around choking your chicken is
uh,
is always going to be
I
mediocre.
it has mediocre ratings on Xbox, right, on the review.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna say to people, because we like to be pretty honest here, is that Xbox reviews in general on their own app and stuff are not the best. They're not like the most non-biased because there's always been a bias war in when it comes to like giving reviews. Most people who enjoy games don't actually give reviews because they just enjoy the game. They play the game. You're more likely to give a review of a game if you didn't particularly like it. So
Yeah.
there's always this unbiased situation of people not really reviewing things. So um, on top of that, most of the reviews for this game that are negative are because they've had an issue with it crashing, or some kind of bug or some kind of issue. No one seems to have actually specifically said they didn't. They're giving it 1 or 2 stars because they don't actually like the game.
So this is like Surgeon Simulator 2 all over again.
For my review of it, yeah, yeah.
So I've
But
got I've got a question for you then, revolving around make some reviews. Sorry, I know
yeah,
this is you just answer very quickly, but it's basically if see I always see this as sort of like your Game Pass Gold, and Game Pass, right? When you're given a game for free, right? You're possibly you're not obliged to play it. You don't feel like you need to play it, although you want to play it, right? So when it's something like that and someone's give you this thing for free, you're not. I don't feel as though I'm always fully immersed in the game. Whereas if I've put my own money into a game, I always feel as though like I have to play this because I've bought it. But at the same
yeah.
time, if it is, if it's, I can't say very bad, but if it's not the best game in the world, I think because you've paid money for that, you kind of try and justify the fact you justify you spending your money. So then you kind of go to people, oh yeah, it's quite good and blah 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 blah. Like, is it? I mean, is that how you feel, or is it?
Uh, yeah, to a degree.
Yeah,
I,
so,
I, I feel like yeah, when the game's free or if it's part of Game Pass, people are very quick. Sorry about that. People are very quick to um kind of kind of diss it. But the thing that you're talking about is like um somewhat a bit of delayed gratification,
yeah,
or like earned enjoyment. Because if you've put the effort in to earn some money,
Yeah.
and you've made a decision to spend said money on a specific task, be it a game or anything, you've invested. You've invested in that.
Yeah.
Therefore, you want something back for your investment. So you are more invested to play the game. You're more immersed to play the game. And generally speaking, you've probably spent a bit of time and a bit of effort figuring out what game you were going to buy.
Yeah.
So you have that in mind. Whereas stuff on Game Pass and any free game that you get given, you don't look at it in the same light. You look at it like, oh, let's try it, see if it's any good. Like put it in the same aspect of like Netflix. How many things have you watched on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something that you never would have watched
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. That's yeah.
if you
So,
if you had to have bought it on
I
DVD?
think a prime example of it for me. I was just trying to think of a game there while you were talking. So the last Halo that we played. Forgive me, I can't remember the number we were up
And
to.
Assault.
It wasn't Spartan Assault, was it? Wasn't that the top
Like
down
the
one?
2D, oh right, okay, no, the actual
The
what
actual
five?
Halo, right? So 5. So that I thought the campaign was garbage. We didn't do much of the multiplayer. I mean, the multiplayer hasn't been as great as it has been in the past. Um, we got that via Game Pass. Am I right?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
yeah. It's
So
Microsoft Store thing,
So
and
if we hadn't have got that via the Game Pass, right, and we'd have ploughed our own money into it, would we have played it more? Would we have gave that a good review? Whereas me sitting here now, I can honestly say to you, I didn't rate that game that much. I didn't think the campaign was very good. We just kind of plodded
played it
through
because it was
that.
Halo.
Yeah, we wanted to finish it. We just thought, right, we need to finish it. Let's just do it. Let's finish it. It was a slog getting through it, and then the multiplayer was just not nowhere near as good as it has been.
Um,
So that for me is a prime example of like, if we'd have put money into it, would we have played more of it, and would you give it a good review? Because if you just spend 40-50 pound on that,
that the review bit comes a bit both ways. You're probably more likely if you didn't enjoy it to give it a bad review because you paid money for it as well. So the like good versus bad review part
yeah,
maybe don't agree on that, but I agree
yeah,
on the you probably would have played it more and give it more of a chance.
yeah,
Um, but the thing for that is because if you've paid money for something, you want the money value out of that game, whether it be shit or not.
yeah.
You still want the money value out of it. So
Oh
if
yeah,
you've
yeah,
paid 50
yeah,
quid for a game, you at least want it to give you quite a few, quite a decent amount of hours worth of entertainment value. Otherwise, what's the you feel let down, and unfortunately in this day and age with buying games, it's not like returning them as you can return them pretty easily, but only if you've played them for a short amount of time and all that kind of good stuff.
yeah.
Um, which doesn't necessarily help when you're talking about games like that. But I just feel like
So
there's
sorry,
more. Go
yeah.
on.
I was just going to say sorry. I divulged a little bit. I went a bit off topic of what you were originally talking about, but
No, but
I
I think I
just
think
thought
you
it
make a
was
good point for people.
yeah,
I wanted to point out with reviews in general. In my opinion, you're better off, having a look at like YouTube and podcasts and things like this sort of stuff where people are talking about the game
yeah. My
because they,
go to when I'm going for look for a game is I'll go on YouTube, possibly Twitch, and watch some
yeah,
actual gameplay. Watch somebody playing it, and sit
yeah,
there and try and go right. Would I enjoy playing this? Is it something that I could honestly sit there and go right? Yeah, yeah, this looks good. That I would love to play this.
yeah,
Is the person enjoying it? The next thing I do is probably go on things like Metacritic or something. I don't
yeah,
take into account any of the company reviews because yeah, I always go for the user review because I always feel as though the user review is more like me, anybody else, just your bog standard player. And then following that, it's any reviews on a game site and a website.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Your first protocol should be the way you're going, and make a decision from there. If it doesn't tide you over, then stuff like Metacritic and places like this do tell you good advice. The only issue with those sort of sites is that people who dislike things tend to review more than people that like
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
So there's an unnatural bias. There's a review
Yes.
bias.
Yeah, no, I understand that. The other one I was going to mention, actually, that I think is a very, very good platform, which obviously we're recording on right now, is Discord.
Yeah.
Discord, I have a lot of channels open for each individual game, and you go in there and you're going to get like-minded people and possibly people with another opinion. So it's definitely a
Mhm.
good live forum to always go in and just air your thoughts on it, and people will give you their honest answers.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's quite a good platform at the minute for stuff like that, where you shouldn't get any dickheads, basically.
Pretty much. At least there's moderators on there that kick people out.
Yes, yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool.
Are you sorry? Just before we move on, have you got anything else to quickly? I know anything regarding what we've just been talking about, because I want to
No.
quickly show something. It's very very quickly, right?
Go for
So
it.
this is Nintendo Switch, right?
Okay. Yeah.
There's been an update lately. I don't know if you've heard about this, right?
No.
So I'll put my Switch up on there. I don't know if I'll focus. I don't know if it'll go into focus or what. Right, anyway, for those that can't see, if you go down in your settings now and update your console, right? Hopefully you can see. Oh, you can't really, can you?
No. No. You'll have to just tell us.
Right, yeah. So if you scroll down after you update it now in your settings, there's a new setting in there for Bluetooth audio, which has been sat in little hibernation in your system all this time, waiting to be activated by Nintendo. And it's now available. So if you do, whereas before you had to buy like a little adapter that went into the bottom, because
So you can
I
plug
bought
it.
one of these for my daughter, yeah, so you could do the Bluetooth. So now you don't have to. So if you've got any wireless Bluetooth headsets or anything, you can pop those in and off you go. The only thing it doesn't accept is the microphone. So anything with a microphone on, I mean, it'll work for your headphones, but you can't talk to people still using it. You
It
still
still seems
you,
mega bizarre.
you still need an adapter. But yeah, I wanted to point it out because it's brilliant, because I love my wireless. I've got the Samsung earbuds, and I also have some Skull Candy ones as well, wireless, big ones there. And I love sitting on my phone, playing games on my phone or listening to audio. Um, and I have been using my Skull Candies, but having to plug them into my Switch. Whereas now, it's in the ideal situation where I don't no longer have to do that. I can just finally have them wirelessly, no wires.
Good.
But yeah,
Oh, why isn't it?
craziness. Don't understand why it's taking them so long to get it done, but it's there anyway.
I don't
Just
know. They clearly had Bluetooth capability because of the controllers. So
yeah, but maybe is it interfered or something? I don't know, but anyway, yeah. If you've got a Nintendo Switch and you do have to use an adapter all the time, that you have to take in and out
oh,
all the
there
time
you
if
go.
you're putting it
Yeah,
in, that's a brilliant new little feature there for you. Get that downloaded.
good. Sounds good.
Um,
Um,
go on. You got anything else?
not in the not in the specific news category apart from related to a couple of games that we're away to talk about anyway. So
Right. Okay then. Right. So, do you want me? I'll kick us off if you want about any games that we've been playing lately.
go for it.
So I've played um, Immortals
Not
Phoenix
yeah.
Rising. My usual game. I've been back on it again. I can't help it. Mate, I'm about freaking 18 hours into the game and I'm still nowhere near finishing it. Honestly, right? I know you've got it as well.
Yeah.
You need to get yourself on there and give that a go, because
I will definitely give it a go.
yeah.
Too many games, too many lists.
The other game I've been playing is Genesis Noir. I've
All right.
just been playing this. It's a game. It's probably one of the only games I've found out that I can play using the actual touch screen on your mobile phone.
All right. When
Because it's
cloud gaming.
yeah, you don't have to be like quick or anything like that. Because let's be
Okay.
honest, the cloud touch game thing on your phone is not very good. I mean, I think it's more designed for tablets, that type of setting.
Yeah,
Because
probably. Yeah.
yeah, another thing I've just noticed actually that games I'm playing on my PC are now also showing up on my app on my phone. So Valheim's on there as well. So yeah, we played a bit of Valheim. I think we even had a little game of Brawlhalla again, didn't we? After last week's podcast, we had another go possibly.
Played again where we were a lot better.
Yeah, but we couldn't have been any worse than we were the first time we had a go on it.
It was a bit night and day though. It was definitely a bit night and day.
Yeah, I'd had me
That's
wheat
for
a bit
sure.
'cause that's second time I think. But yeah, that's all I've done. As I say, I've been a very busy week, so I'm not gonna take up much more of your time. I'm gonna let Mike crack on and let us know what you've been playing.
Yeah. Um, as for games that I've been playing, one is sorry, my dog's like sleeping and he's like walking in his sleep. Funny. Um, near the noise in the background.
I can't hear no noise. I can just see it looks like they're having a fit.
Yeah, he's like running and it's hitting the side of the pit.
No, I can't hear.
Anyway, um, okay, so like you said, we've been playing Valheim.
Yep.
Um,
Valheim, however it's pronounced.
Valheim, Valheim, whatever, tomato, tomato. Um, to get ready, because we are away to fight the dragon boss. Eventually, we've now unlocked where the location is and how to get there, and we're just prepping our gear and stuff to go and give him a good slap.
Yeah.
However, in preparation of things to come, and on a news front, is that anyone that's playing Valheim or anyone that knows anything about Valheim is that there is the Hearth and Home update release on the 16th of September, which is tomorrow.
Yep.
Um, and I just thought I would touch on this because a couple of things. One, I don't know if you are aware of the details around what's coming out in the update.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of I've seen a couple of videos and a couple of little people chatting about the different things that are due to come.
Yeah. So
More so revolving around weapons, I think is all I've seen.
I'm going to tell you a couple. I'm going to go through
There's my
your
pussy.
cat. Nice. You stroke pussy for you. um, I'm gonna go like quickly through the updates, right? The things that are coming out, and then I'm gonna ask you a question because I have an opinion of something, and then I'm a little bit concerned, but I want to see what your take on it is, and we'll go from there. Um, so yeah, Hearth and Home. Um, one of the major parts of the Hearth and Home update is more building pieces.
Hmm.
There's been some images of like dark wood roof pieces, wooden window hatches, um, a bunch of more stuff coming to do more in the house. One to build more, but also to do more apparently. So tasks and things that you can do around your whole creative building side of things, which for the people who are generally just playing the game and processing through the game will be nice upgrades. It'd probably be a nice kind of things of what you can change and do. But people who are on the building creative side, whether in console mode, they've got unlimited parts and they're just building the mega structures and crazy things in the game. It's probably really good for them. They'll get quite a lot out of that.
So
Um,
can I ask you a question regarding this then?
uh,
On that aspect of the update, is that see I personally I can't see us using that, or I mean the way we move around the map and the way we do things is kind of like quickly shot something up, get a roof over us, get a campfire, get the portal in there, and get a workbench, and that's how we play the game.
yeah, and it that the part of that update or the building bit and the more stuff they're doing around the house. So like stuff to do in the house, activities that you can now do, right? I'm going to come back to that because that's part of my question to you
All right, okay.
at the end, right? The other thing
I'll just keep
is
interrupting you though, and I'll keep asking you questions.
that's fine.
And then if you
The other
tell
one's
me,
for
go on.
hoarded treasure now. So if you put treasure and coins, loot, all this kind of good stuff in treasure chests, it'll actually overflow your treasure chest and make your kind of treasure room look better than it was, rather than it just all being in a box. Um, which is pretty cool. To be fair, it's more of a visual oriented thing. Um, Probably pretty good and pretty fun in PvP oriented servers. Obviously, you can stick it all in your base, and people will actually be able to see you've got a chest full of treasure. So that sense, pretty good. Or maybe just for screenshots and showing it off, like what you've been able to get hold of, which is fair enough. Um, there's a food rebalancing. Um, in that you can make 10 more recipes, which include some cool things like ice cream and chocolate smoothie. There's now wolf meats and various other things you can do with that. Um, One of the things that I think might be quite good is they've actually added more components to make cooking a bit more complex. So now you have like spice racks and pots and pans and stuff as well. So it's going to make that a bit more complicated than it was before, right?
Right, okay.
You're shaking your head because you don't really care. You just want to eat the food,
No,
right?
no, no. No. I was laughing and shitting my head at the freaking. You can now make ice creams and chocolate smoothies.
Yeah, I don't know why they've. I know they've
of
put them
all
in
of
because it's
all the
fun.
things they could have put in,
They put ice creams because everyone's got grey dwarf eyes coming out their
right,
arseholes.
okay.
That's what that's about. Um, so that's fine. The food change or the benefit to eat more, like have more food options, is because they've changed kind of a feature, um, and that is that food will have an impact more. So before it just used to be that you would eat food and food would either give you health or stamina in different varying amounts, right?
Yeah.
Um, that's the same. However, having more health will actually have a beneficial attribute if you want to, let's say, be tanky. So it'll actually make you block more or take bigger hits more, not just because you've got more health. It'll actually give you like more defense, basically.
Right, okay.
So if you want to be a tank, then eat more health is better than having more stamina in general, but it's also now actually way better to have more health because you're actually going to be able to take more hits because you have a better defensive rating and a better block amount and a better parry chance and other things. It's going to have a bigger increase. And I believe the same applies for like stamina. So maybe you can, it doesn't quite say, but maybe you can swing faster, um, maybe draw your bow quicker.
And is this using the food? You mean? Yeah.
The food,
Yeah.
all foods are going to have a bigger impact in what they do, um, kind of around that sort of stuff. Um, there's a bit of a spree, like a kind of, yeah, making, so they're going to make food choices more interesting. So they've said how stamina and health affects your poise in combat. If you want to be tanky, defensive Viking, you should now stick on health, and this will boost your ability to deflect incoming hits and mitigate damage. So it's not just that you have more health; it'll
Right.
actually have a physical change, which is great. Um, they've changed blocking, staggering, kind of combat changes have come in, which is fine. You can knock enemies off balance and do some kind of cool stuff with that a bit more. They fix some of the weapons as well, so like they're a little bit more. Uh, they work a little bit more, so they're a little bit more balanced between each weapon. There's not some weapons that are terrible and some
Yeah.
weapons that are like way better than the other ones, which is fine, right? Now that's your updates, right? That's the things you're getting, right? Now my question is, they've added all this stuff. We are two bosses from
No.
the end of that.
The answer's no. Go on,
No,
carry on.
we're two bosses away from the end of no more bosses at least, so no more storyline. Um, the suggestions from developers is that they want people to start again, right? I'm not saying we're going to, because I'm not, right? But I just don't think it's enough. I
No,
think they've.
my answer. Well, you've not really asked me a question there, but my
I'm
answer
not going
was
to say should we start again. My
no,
question
no.
is it enough?
Yeah, my answer was no. My answer was no, as in that there's not enough there to keep us going. Once we've killed those two bosses, I can't see us going. Oh, do you want to go on Valheim, and
You know what I feel like they've
do you
done?
want to mine, or do you want to cut some trees down for no reason
Yeah,
whatsoever?
let's turn Valheim into Farmville or Farm Simulator and Cooking Simulator until they can bring out more game content.
Yeah,
That's what honestly. I'm not trying to put like a spin on it. Maybe playing through the game again might be quite interesting, but I don't think it's gonna have that effect. Okay, yeah, you'll sit there. You'll probably spend a bit more time and build up a bigger house, mainly because we know other updates are gonna come, right? But they're effectively giving you more stuff to do around the house
yeah,
and more stuff in the house because there isn't anything else outside the house to do.
no, no.
Like I just man, they could have just thrown in two more bosses or something.
I think what they should have done is should have give you some sort of like um, some sort of
Or
end game
change them.
some sort of end
Make
game
it
content where you could call build a fucking horn on the or somewhere, and then you blow the fucking horn, and it creates like a wave mode, like a waves mode, where you get
Mhm.
5 different waves of different enemies coming in. Maybe it's one of the bosses at the end or something. You kill them
Yeah.
off, you get something fucking grand. That that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
because what's the point in building your house up now if
Yeah,
like yeah, like you say, you get these random spontaneous events on your house
we
and they're
yeah
not particularly difficult.
no, we've just got
Um
the point now where our base or bases are actually well enough fortified to withstand pretty much anything, and we can
yeah,
pretty much kill them all off. The only thing we can't kill off straight away at the minute is the main bosses.
yeah.
Say we found
I
the
think
last
I would have liked
like you
some
say
stuff to be spawned.
we found the last one. As soon as we kill that fucker, we move on to the next one. It's more or less done with. But we
Yeah.
can move on to something new, can't we? New, new, new,
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of
new,
which,
new.
new, new. Uh,
Did you like that? You knew where I was going with that.
that was quite a decent segue.
It was, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Right.
the new into a new game, which is New World. Uh, for
Ah,
those who
by the way,
don't,
I'm proud of that one.
that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So those of you who don't know, um, Amazon Studios are releasing their new MMO title on PC, called New World.
Is this isn't the one that broke everyone's computer, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
This broke anyone's computer, not anyone's, but a few people who had a Nvidia 3090 graphics card.
how do you know I haven't got one?
Um, because it'd be more expensive than your PC.
Cheeky bastard.
Well, it would
Carry
be,
on,
but like
carry
three
on,
grand, like
carry
three
on.
grand to buy a graphics card. If you buy one of them,
I might have
because you
invested.
don't have loads of money sat around. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But other than that, it's fine. It's been fixed. The issue's been fixed anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal now. Um, but it was bricking people's computers, which is kind of funny. Um, so basically the betas of the closed beta went very well. The open beta went very well. Me and one of our friends got the chance to play the open beta at the weekend. So we actually got a bit of hands on it, which was kind of nice to do some of that. Um, it's in the same vein of general MMOs with your Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft and Elder Scrolls Online. Um, as far as graphically what it looks like and how it plays, it's more. Elder Scrolls Online than it is the others.
Right. Okay.
Um, it definitely feels more that way. Um, the things that I would say that I like about it, it played very well. It feels like a decent game. Um, they, I'm going to jump onto this fact straight away, is that you pay for the game and then there's no subscription. So they
Right.
already win. They already win that war in my book. No subscription for the game, fantastic. Pay your 39.99 for your game, for a standard edition. I think it's a bit more for the deluxe edition, if you really want that. Um, the deluxe edition thing, there is an item in the deluxe edition that is only available now and it'll never be available again, apparently. I think it's some kind of, maybe something that gets sent to you like a hardback thing. But I'm not sure. Um, check that out at some point. Um, so I think that's really good. I think that's fab because people paying subscription money out is a bit tedious at times. Now, obviously, updates and upgrades, DLCs and stuff are probably going to be chargeable, and there's probably going to be in-game cosmetic stuff as well. Um, they have made comments that there's no pay to win,
Right. Yeah.
so you can't pay for characters to be magically level 60 or anything, that sort of stuff. So that's pretty good. Um, in general, it plays well. Um, one of the things I think that they've done quite very well is that you don't pick a class. Customize your character at the start of the game. There's no race specific characters. There's no class specific. You don't pick a warrior at the beginning and then 25 million hours later you decide you want a mage. Doesn't matter. Um, you level up. You do level up yourself, but that's only in your character's like attribute points, so like dexterity and that sort of stuff, which
Yeah.
obviously does play. It does actually, in that sense, that does play directly towards what weapons you can use them better, because certain things do help other things. So if you want like mana, for instance, then say increases in intellect will help you do that, which is going to help you having like using a staff or whatever. But yeah, you have two. You have a single weapon slot to start off with three abilities, and then you. Oh, little one's having a little bit of a cry. Um, she's just annoyed that she can't play it yet. Um, and you, yeah. So you have one weapon slot gives you three castable abilities.
Right.
And then you have like lots of other passive abilities and other abilities in that tree. So that weapon effectively gives you two trees. Um, I'll give you an example. The healing staff gives you heal people, and the other one gives you like blessings, like protect them. That's the two
Right.
different trees, and they have different abilities in each one. So you can only use three abilities per weapon. Oh, someone is not happy.
She's kicking off. She's kicking
Kicking
off.
off, kicking
Batter
off.
him.
I'll just
Batter him.
rock a little bit. Um, and then at level 5, I believe it is, you unlock the second weapon slot. And then you can put a different weapon in there and you can get different spells, different abilities, and stuff like that. So it's quite cool. They've got some unique things in there, like guns and stuff as well, which I've not seen in an MMO. Um, you can actually aim down the sights, stuff like that. Um, we played the start in Realm in the open beta. Um, a word of caution to anyone that does play it. You when you start the game, you get put in a random starting location. I think it's one of 5. Um, you do exactly the same quests, but you do them in that location. So if you want to play with mates, you either have to join and then replace like say you make a character and join the game, and I want to play with you right from the start. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're when I join, if I'm not in your location, I might have to like run to you effectively to do your missions, or some people have said just delete your character, start a new character, and
Just keep
keep
going
doing it until you
you're
end up being
yeah.
in the same place. Yeah, I kind of wish they'd done that a little bit better and handled it a bit better, but they've probably just done it to stop the influx of people at launch day breaking the world.
Right. It sounds like a. I mean, I've seen the videos. It looks like a brilliant game. So I may or may not pick that up. It might be our little filler from Valheim, I think. So when we finish that, I think if we keep pressing on, I don't know if you've got anything else you want to kind of mention in there. Anything else you've been playing around with, or is there anything else?
Sorry, I was just muting that.
All right.
Um, Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of a game called Minion Masters on the Xbox.
Oh yes, we've got a little play date after this, haven't we? Of that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Minion Masters. It's like a card kind of minion battle game. Um, yeah, check it out. I mean, it's free to play,
Yeah.
so what more do you need to do? Free to play. It's pretty good. 2v2, and it's quite tactical. Looks quite good. Um, Something quite interesting. So we'll get you into it, Craig, and see what you think.
Yeah. We'll have a little. I'll have a little nosy at that. Possibly even do a bit of recording of
Yeah.
me getting annoyed at that.
Is there anything? Is there anything coming out that you're looking forward to?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's coming out soon. I know obviously we've got different things on Game Pass, haven't we? Coming soon. We did put a post up before. So what's due out in September? Let's have a little nosy. The Artful Escape. Obviously that should be already out. That was 9th. Craftopia, we know that's out. Psychonauts 2, we know that's out. So Lost Worlds Beyond the Page. Don't know what that. Subnautica Below Zero. So yeah, we've played Subnautica, but this is the I don't know if it's
DLC.
almost like it's like a DLC, but people are claiming it's almost like another game.
A new
So
game. Yeah.
yeah, Lemnis Gate. Did we talk about that one? Have we?
I've seen it and I'm quite interested in it because it's like a turn-based first-person shooter game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we've. Oh yes, yes.
So
Uh,
I'm curious how that works.
so that's out on the 28th of September. So that's always something, obviously, for us to keep
Yeah.
our eye open for. Oh, I didn't realise that. Football Manager 2022 is out on 9th of November. I know that's a bit away, but that I didn't realise that was coming to Game Pass.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah.
I believe Halo multiplayer is not that far away.
Oh, yeah. I don't know whether it was on here. It's not showing on here on this list I've got here. Yeah, I don't know if it was. Is it not December, or am I just making that up? Or is it even sooner than that? Oh, the next Halo Infinite multiplayer preview will be available to everyone on September 24th. So the preview's out on the 24th.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that'll be worth a little go. Obviously, I know I've played the beta already. I don't think you had access to it, did you? In fact, did you get the? Please tell me you signed up to it. I did send
The Halo Way Pass.
Halo Infinite. It was the Halo Insider thing, wasn't it? Did you sign up?
Yeah. I signed up to everything. Yeah.
Great. So anybody who was signed up to that as of the 13th, I did put a post on our Facebook page. So if you've missed that, then it's your own fault. You should be looking on our Facebook page, shouldn't you? You should be liking our page and following it. Yeah, so I put a post on there just to say that get signed up by the 13th. So anyone who had a Halo Insider profile as of that point gets access to Halo Infinite multiplayer on the 24th.
Cool. So according to this, it comes out on the 8th of December.
Yeah, I thought it was December. I just couldn't quite remember when.
Yeah, we got Forza Horizon 5 on the 9th of November.
I do like the Horizon series. I really do. I'm more into my arcadey fun driving rather than
driving rather than the other stuff.
serious. Yeah.
Fair enough. Another one as well, which might be an interesting one, is the new Age of Empires is coming out on the 28th of October.
Oh yes.
PC version, obviously. Not for Xbox, but for PC. What's that? Age of Empires. It's Roman numerals, so I'll get it wrong, but I think it's 4.
Is it one V?
1V is 4,
That's
right?
4, yes. 1 before 5. V is 5.
V is 5. 1 before 5, yeah.
That's the best way to remember it.
Yeah, available, available in 42 days. No, I think that'd be quite interesting to play. Get back on that and see what they've done with it for it being all new with all new game engines and everything else in there. So that should be quite good. Missing a kind of strategy game. To be fair, that is the reason why I mentioned Minion Masters to yourself was because I was actually just looking for some kind of strategy game to play.
Well, we'll have a little blast at that after this, and say we'll do a little recording of that. I do miss like a Red Alert or something like that, Command and Conquer.
I know, yeah, I have my opinions of that because there's the remastered versions are obviously out there and you can play all them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play that as you can actually play that as part of Game Pass and stuff as well. There is some other games that I've liked, like Stellaris is a good game, but you're not playing. Stellaris is like golf. You're not playing unless you've got 6 hours to waste.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of ones on PC like StarCraft and things like this that are very good, but never particularly got into them. So, looking for something that was a bit of a jump in and out kind of scenario.
Well, if anybody's got any opinions or wants to let us know that there's something out there that we can try that's similar to that, then give us a shout, let us know, and we will try that and give our opinion on it. I think unless you've got anything else to mention, we are under the 1 hour mark at the minute if we want to end that now. I think it's as good a place to finish there as any. So, yeah. I'm happy. You happy? We're all happy.
I'm going to ask you something that I've just seen and I didn't know anything about.
Oh, it's going to take us over the hour. Go on, go for it.
Have you heard of Fallout Tactics?
I'm not too sure.
Not Gears Tactics. Fallout Tactics.
No, I don't think I have.
Fallout 76.
I don't think I have, no.
Tactical squad-based combat comes to Fallout universe.
Nice.
Didn't know that was a thing. Is this the other thing that we've got a problem with? That we've got so many games appear out of everywhere now that you just can't simply keep up with the amount of games we can play.
That's the case, isn't it?
I've never seen this before. When was this released? 13th of June, 2021. That was released. Only on PC.
It was already out. It was already out. All right, okay. Yeah, right, we'll have a little nosy at that then as well. See what that's about. Right, I'm happy anyway. I'm happy to leave it there.
Me too.
Let's quickly end it before we go over this hour. Otherwise, it's a pain in the ass. Right, you've been listening to HCG. My name's Craig, aka Z Crisis 2 on all social media, Xbox, the lot.
Yeah, my name's Mike. Iron Mike 2 on Xbox and social media content as well. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, check in if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube and stuff. Check in the description.
Follow us, like us, hit like and hit follow, hit everything. Otherwise, you're going to miss things like Halo betas and stuff like that.
Follow us, like us. New stuff's coming out, new content from us as we get used to doing this sort of stuff. So be there, be with us, and be ready It's all good stuff.
Cheerio!
Bye.